Put the sound on. Yeah, I'm right. Thanks, Steve. Let's move that out of the shot. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? We're here. Great. Great, great, great. Good afternoon. You know what? You can be as organized as you like, and then you can forget to plug the internet in. But I did put the sound on today. You're up very high today. Yes, you're up high, but I'm leaving you up high because we're going to be doing a lot of close-up work, and I wanted you to see Felicity's quilt. So that's why it's up there. Anyway, oh, here we go. Now we'll just turn my volume down. So just before we get started, who's here? Lorraine's here, Lynn's here, Cheryl's here, Denise is here, Lynette's here, Karen Carter's here. Glad to see you are here. It's not like you can go far, Karen. But yeah, Karen's in quarantine still, I think, till Saturday, and she's going great guns making a quilt. In fact, I'm sure Karen's life is going to get so hectic over the next couple of months. There'll be moments where you'll guiltily look back and go, fun times, peace and quiet. You know, you can't help it sometimes, can you, looking back and going, yeah. Oh, Christine, you're having trouble with your phone. Absolutely, I will call you later. And yes, very sorry about the double up in your box. But if you do send me one walking foot back, I'll make it up to you. And I still have your dragonfly fabric and your navy here for you. Yes, good. Hope the food's good at the Ibis Novotel, Karen. Diane, it is a gorgeous day. It is actually a beautiful day here in Melbourne. My little bonsai maple leaf, or as my mother would correct me, my acidisectum, is budding. So that to me is always the first sign. Sally is watching. Sally, you and Therese are sort of the last of my girls on my list to do your specials from the live shows last week, and that's because you were adding things from different departments and like from email or messenger and online, and I do have a couple more still to good. Oh, Denise, you've got your goodies. That's very, very good. Hello, Jane. We still haven't spoken, but I got your lovely email. Hello, Flynn. Welcome to Chandler's Cottage. And today we're going to be looking through the diamond window. Just thought I'd do that for Flynn. Hello, Marie. Good afternoon, Sharon. Oh, Corinne's here too. Yeah, gorgeous quilt, Jane. I have been promising the pattern for this quilt all year, and I'm sure Felicity is like, can you hurry up and do the pattern, because it's her quilt. So we do need to get it done. Oh, but Bernadette, you're here now. You did have trouble getting in, but you're here. That's the main thing. We are, it's just on our list to work it so you can stream through YouTube as well. And I haven't spoken to Cass for 2 days. There's been rampant emails back and forth, but we haven't spoken. So it is on our list. The food's good. Well, you know what? The food would have to be good, wouldn't it? Because then you'll tell everyone how good the food was at the Ibis Novotel, and then moving forward, we'll all go, oh, let's go stay in that hotel that Karen was in during quarantine. She said the food was really good. Nan, it's a gorgeous day in Brisbane too. Well, that is good, and I'm pretty sure there's stuff hurtling its way towards you as well. Oh, Lorraine, you're on the homeschooling. I don't envy you. Not one shebang. Not at all. Hello, Lynn. Pat's here. Anne's here. Sharon's here as well. Not that Sharon. Not Sharon Keys from Keysborough. There's another Sharon here, along with Anne. Anne, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm just waiting on our... Do you like that? That, which is a technical term for echo clips to put onto your adjustable ruler foot for a Q16, also known as, what? This being silly. Oh, Karen, you got them. Yes, good, good. So Karen has a sometimes yes, sometimes no postie. So she was missing one of her blocks and it came back to us, but now it has arrived and you've got so much to go and get cracking because I'm already on the next one. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, Barb, and everybody here. And Andrea, if you do come in and watch, I've got your email here about feet for your new machine and I will get onto that as quickly as I can. We're in a very brave new world here at the moment with this new website because it's made us formalize everything. So no longer will you ever order anything again and I'll ring you and say, sorry, it's not in stock, because Steve won't let us, and we're being very, very disciplined about it. For example, Christine, before the website, ordered some of that beautiful blue teal mauve dragonfly fabric, and I have that here to send down to her. It didn't make it in the box with her new Benina. And then the rest of the stock, which was 2.5 meters, and we had to count everything, got put up onto the website. And someone bought 0.5 meter and someone bought 2 meters and it's gone. And I went out to Steve with the empty bolt and went, now what? And he said, it's all right. And sure enough, we're gone in. The website has taken it off because it's not available. How scary is that? So that means moving forward, you'll go, why hasn't she got that on the website? It is because we just haven't stock taked it yet, or we haven't got the files ready. So there's not many patterns there yet because we're setting them all up as hard copies or printable downloads. So Cass and Steve are working as quickly as they can. So Flynn's really excited and so is Rosemary. Oh, that's funny. So we're getting things done as quick. But why are we taking longer than usual? Well, Cass is in Sydney in lockdown with 3 children at home, homeschooling. So it's all a little bit of a challenge, but hey, we're all in this together. Hello, Yvonne. So you've got, oh, Corinne, I miss a good Elmore Field Day. Love an Elmore Field Day. I do miss them back in my dairy days and when Mum and Dad, it is that Elmore, I'm guessing. Loved an Elmore Field Day, just me and a couple of tractors, and yeah, used to get Dad to try and spend money on attachments for his tractor that he didn't need. A little bit like buying feet for a sewing machine you think you'd never use. It was a bit like that on a much larger scale. Yeah. Hello, Floria. Good to see you. Okay, Marilyn Foster, you've looked for bag batting on the new website. Is it there? No, it's not. If time permits, can you chat about what batting to use for different finishes? I would be more than happy to do 2 things there as per a press conference. Now, you've asked 2 questions there, Marilyn. I've watched Dan too much. Yes, bag batting is, well, there's batting in the building. Now, with our old system, batting takes up a lot of room, therefore it was very expensive to send. Now with the new system we're in, it's based on weight, not volume. So it will be financially viable to order batting. So that changes everything. We had a delivery of bag batting arrive, the rubber foam batting arrived yesterday. We are getting that ready to put up on the site, but again, photos, count, weights, all that stuff Steve's got to put in. And we will be putting wool batting up too, because while all patchwork shops do stock wool batting, you may not be near a patchwork shop or you might be in lockdown. So we really do want to get that up on a website for you as quick as possible. And then to talk about different battings, absolutely. Let's make a note. Where are we going to write it on? I'll make a note now and let's do that. Because I have Matilda's wool 60-40 batting, so we need to talk about that. I'll talk about the pellins that we stock, and we'll talk about the rubber foam batting. It's probably a really good conversation to have while Em's here next week too, because in a previous life she used to actually have not a long arm, a short arm quilting business. So we might have a chat about we might have a chat about that, and that's going to be good because it will lead into some quilting online workshops I'm going to do too, because that's all part of that whole conversation. Now, I really wasn't ready because we keep getting sidetracked with wonderful new things going on. I'm just going to I'll put this here for a minute. First of all, if you're wondering if it's worth sticking around this afternoon, of course, that is entirely up to you. But I'll give you a quick look at what I'm working on at the moment, and it's very, very much what I do. But I want to show you what I'm working on, because I'm working on a couple of kits that are going off to Natasha for the shopping channel in the UK. But of course, I want to do them here with you first. So in here, you can see just typical Lisa Chandler going on here with, you know what I like doing. So we've got a big ginger pot, and I've pre-pieced the panel for the ginger pot first. Then he's got his little lid, and then he's got a little circle up here for his little knob so you can lift his lid off. And then I'm doing some of my, you know, I love these octagon paper piecing around the edges, and I'm using the clear Epiplex. So I'm working on this, and then I'm going to make up kits for us and for Natasha. So I'm doing it in the red, and then I'm also going to do it in the blue. Now, what's happened today, I've come in and I've left the templates at home. They are in the scanner, ready to scan when I get home to send to Cass to finish the pattern. Well, that doesn't work for us. But then I had this really wicked thought, what if I did them differently and not just give her, they're going to kill me, but not give her the same pattern. They'll be different. So the blue one might have a different shape and different paper piecing to the red one. I really like that idea, because then for us here, for Chandler's Cottage, I can put them up as printable downloads. So if you just want to use something from your Oriental stash and not get the kit, you can do it, and you'll have two different ones to use. So I thought, you know, in true style, when you and I get together, let's just design it while we're here. We'll just do it together. So yeah, let's do that. Hello, Cass. Since when do you hand quilt? Have you all seen that comment? Since when do you hand quilt? When do you have time to hand quilt? I don't have time to hand quilt. I don't know how you're doing it. And I don't want you all to see what I'm drinking. I really don't. It's not alcoholic, but it does have sugar in it, and it's not a very good look. All right, so I want to do this with you today, and it's not needle turn. It's bagged out. It's not pre-shaped with sandpaper like I do smaller ones. I've got Vilene under here. Applique sampler girls, you're all going a bit nuts because your packs have arrived and you were waiting for them, and now you're like, oh no, I've got a lot of work to do, and you do. But I want you to get cracking on it, because the next installment that will be out in about 2.5 to 3 weeks uses the technique that I'm going to do today. Yours is going to be a little bit more complicated, because your next experience adventure, I'm not going to say challenge, experience adventure, is going to be needle turn applique. So you're going to be doing some of that onto an Australian iconic shaped biscuit barrel, not an Oriental ginger pot, before you make yours up and bag it out. So we're going to do this together today. Now, the other things though, just before we start, because you know, once I get into this, who knows how long ago. Oh, this is as far as I've got with Felicity's owl that I promised I'd have done today. Look at that. So I've got to finish him off and stuff him, which is why there are packs of sushi rice and pearl barley on my sewing table. Because I think I'm past the hot soup for the winter. Actually, I don't think that's sushi rice. I think that's risotto. And if Robert makes me one more batch of risotto in the Thermomix, I think I'm done for now with the Thermomix risotto. So I'm going to put it into my owl, and then there'll be none in the house. He'll just go and buy more. Okay, so before we do some sewing, I just can't, about a week ago. Who's about a week ago? Oh, okay. She's about a week ago. Before we get into the sewing, I just want to show you what Steve's uploaded today onto this new website. He said to me, Mum, I know how to tag stuff. Do you want me to tag? And I said, no, I don't want you to tell the girls. I don't want you to make it too easy for you to find everything yet. I'm going to tell you where it is. And then I want you to go and have a look for me, because to me, it's really important that my regular, my girls, my VIPs, learn to navigate their way around the website. I will start tagging things from next week, which means I'll give you a code to pop into a search window like we used to, and it will bring up everything that we're talking about on the show. But for now, there's not really that much there. I'd love you just to have a look around. So do you remember we had this and I got some more in? So there's 2 of these. Really iconic Aussie prints. They're great to make stuff for guys. And with Father's Day coming up, do you remember we did the book cover? So this would be perfect to use for that. In fact, that book cover's not up yet, is it? I take that back, that needs doing too. I'll add it to the list in a minute. So this is up. I have left it at the special price. It's $18 a metre. So when you go into the new website, or when you pull it up, if you see the old website, first of all, what that means is that your computer has saved that information. It's like if you go there a lot, it's where it's going to take you. So what I need you to do is shut down the website, maybe even shut down your computer and come back on, and don't even worry about the www, just type Chandler's Cottage and go into that link, and you should see a difference. You need to see that cute new little slideshow of all the different things that we do, not the little blue and pink banner anymore across the top. You'll know when you're there. You'll know when you're there. And Phil at the moment is actually putting together a little info sheet on how to actually do this thing called clearing your cache. And sometimes people say to me, you're telling me it's sold out, but it's still sitting here on my computer. We have to talk them through how to clear your cache, and that's sort of the memory of what's stored in your computer, so that it's all nice and fresh, and when you do click on Chandler's Cottage, it doesn't take you to an old page, it takes you straight into the new website. So when you are in there, and I'll get that out in a newsletter for you, Phil's working on that at the moment, because like he's got nothing else to do. You can then have a look at this. So under other beautiful fabrics, if you go into other beautiful fabrics, and then under there, there's a little window that says browse. If you go into that, there's a drop down menu of all of the suppliers of our fabrics, and there's one in there called Lloyd Curzon. So if you don't want to look through everything, you can actually go into that browse and it will pull it up. There's also a spot next to that where you can go, you can tell if you want newest fabric to oldest in the order we've uploaded stuff. You can also go alphabetical. And this is called, I do know it, I think it's called Journey to Australia. It's on the other one. Journey to Australia. So even if you just at the start of the website put in the word journey in the window, in the search window, it'll find it for you. So there's lots and lots of ways that you'll be able to customize the site for yourself. So that is one. There's only 2 there. And this, if you remember, is the other one. There you go. So this is a lovely partnership. This is between Lloyd Curzon, who is my favorite local supplier of fabrics that I buy for the shop from, and In the Beginning, so Jason Yentor, that does all the beautiful digital prints. This is a lovely little partnership between them. So there you go. Rosemary, you must not feel overwhelmed. You must not feel overwhelmed at all by new techniques. That's the whole thing. And if you're referring to your paper daisy block, we might need to have a little sesh to talk about them. But you don't have to do the method I did. You can just use one. Everyone that's watching is going, what is she talking about? They're on paper daisies or heliochrysms on the Chandler's Cottage applique sampler this month. Just going back as well to these. So if you remember, this is what Emma and I had a play with on Tuesday. So these packs are up, and again, we now know how many packs we've got. Quite a few of you ordered these. I think we've got about 9 or 10 of these left. But they are 10 fat 8s of gorgeous dotty batiks. Also sitting next to the scanner is that tropical fish to send to Cass to put up on the free download section for you. Then I've pulled 3 bolts out. Now, we started this great thing for a while called Perfect Partners, because you know how hard it is sometimes for you to see what goes really well together on a computer screen, and I get that. So we'll go back and do some perfect partners, and in our pre-cut section that has pretty much absolutely nothing in it except for those dots, and that's because we used to make our pre-cuts to order, and now I need to hold some stock to put into the website, so we've got to get them cut. Lisa King's working on designer block packs, creative cuts, charm square packs and things downstairs. But I thought I'd just grab a couple of bolts today and show you what goes really well together that's new to the website on a bit of my stuff, and then then you can go and have a look around yourself as well. So there's me, there's the grey Melba fans. So there's a section called Melba on the home page, and then this is an interesting story. This is one of the gelato ombres. Now these are all up. I've still got to get the sorbets up. And I kept looking at that going, I'm not happy. It's not really good. It's a bit flaky. You know what happened? They had wound it onto the bolt inside out. I have not seen them done that before. I'm guessing there was a learner on that day. But look at that. This is a beautiful black grey. Teresa, if you're watching, no, this is not the bolt that we are using for our raw edge applique sampler later this year. Just saying that because she'll go, is that it? Are you selling that when we need it? See, it goes right through to white. How yummy is that? Yum, yum. So I'm just looking. Floria, what are you doing with your phone? I have 50,000 messages saying you're watching. Must be internet. There you go. So it goes all the way from black right up to white through grey. And then, now someone found this under other new fabrics. Look at the boys. Remember we had this in the blue, and that just gone. But how beautiful is, look at them. These are, I don't need a ruler today, and I've really cleaned up, so there's not even one up here, but I would say they're 6 inches across. Just gorgeous. And of course it's one of those staggered designs. So if you miss the elephant, if you end up with a chopped elephant, he's going to be on the other side. And let me just check. Yeah, they're a 60 centimeter repeat. There you go. So if you buy the 1/2 meter on the website, because we now run in 1/2 meter increments, and I've had to explain to a couple of people why we are running on 1/2 meters, and that's because I'm going to do a lot of pre-cuts. To sell 1/2 meter with Australia Post, with everything now, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, most of the time we lose money, because 1/2 meter is $6.50. The time that it takes us to pack it, once we've paid for it, there's nothing in it. And I've always been so critical of people that sell in 1/2 meters. but there is a reason. I've put the Liberties down at 25 centimetres, and I've put the Melbas at, some of the Melbas at 60, so that you actually buy the full repeat of it. And I forgot to take the phone off the hook. Lisa's got it. So if you're doing a Bargello or something like that and you need 30, 25 centimetre cuts, then you're going to ring us. But in terms of ordering from the website, I'm going to be so honest with you, it is not viable for us to do half meters anymore. We're trying to absorb the cost of the extra freight and the exchange rates and everything coming in, but I can't do that if we sell it at fat quarters, which is very, very sad. Yes, Sally, pattern suggestions. Oh, do we have pattern suggestions? We haven't talked about quilts. We have talked about handbags with the elephants. I'm desperately trying to get some more because I want to leave a whole bolt for people that just want to buy it on the website, but then I really, really want to do an elephant tote. Really do. So to me it's bag fabric. It has to be. It's just too gorgeous, and I'd want to wear it. I wouldn't want it in a quilt in my house. I'd want to be able to take it out and wear it. It'd be really, really nice. And then I think, what else? I threw a heap of stuff in here to bring upstairs because we've set up upstairs again. I've got framework and things around me, so we're all set up ready to go for our virtual exhibition in September, and Love and Hugs. Remember we're doing these, and these colours were up on the website when we spoke on Tuesday, and we've just had the delivery today of a new stock of the dark blue, so they are back on the website. They come in like this, all individually wrapped in pairs. Then I find something to watch on Netflix, and I unpack them all and I inspect them all so that we make sure they're all super perfect. I'm trying to work out where Steve's put that other camera. Oh, it's down there. Let's see if I can, let's just see if I can. Oh, not very well at all because the light's not right. We're constantly facing a few little challenges. I might try and fix that light in a minute. Anyway, so we make sure that these are all, hang on, maybe if I move that, that's a bit better. So we've got little press studs in here, they're hinged, and you turn them over that way. So I make sure these are all super perfect before we send them out. And then I will sit and wrap them up into their Ziploc bags with the free pattern to make up a bag that's that size. So the blue is back in, and hey Stevie, if you're watching, can you come and move this light back for me? I might hold them up that better that way. He's watching. There you go. So that's the brown. Handsome, did that have to stay there? Or can it come back around a bit?
Because if it goes back around there, then we'll have a huge shadow from the machine.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't all work, does it? How about if I put the machine on the floor for now? Does that work? And then we can move the light back?
Yeah.
Excuse us. So if I do that, I'll pop it down there. So how, that's a bit better. That's better. Oh. Yeah. Oh, down a bit, round a bit. Whoa. I need my sunglasses. Okay, so that's better. Thank you. Super. Thanks, Stevie.
I'm not watching, but when you want me, just talk a bit louder and
Are you moving fabric and stock taking?
I'm about to start moving the fabric. I'm just doing the order.
You're doing an order?
I am.
Whose order is it?
Kate.
Ah, it's Kate Henwood's order.
Now, Ren, did you bring up the satchel bags?
I have. So, we need to start making something, don't we? We really do. Okay, so some of you will have seen we didn't like the new packaging for Australia Post because they're really, really boring grey bags. So I went and got Cass to do some butterfly stickers for me. So we might have missed a few, been putting butterflies on just so it looked a bit pretty. But these are our new bags and they perfectly match our logo. That is a coincidence, but it's not a coincidence. I have the best graphic designer in the world and Cass found them for us. And I want to show you, this is so cool. Even my dad was impressed. These are home compostable zero waste bags. So you are a hero and a legend by using this bag. And these you can literally put into your compost bin. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm not getting them posted to me though. That doesn't work. I didn't think that through. I'm going to try it. I'm going to take one and try it. I think this would be great to plant into in the garden. So if you're planting a new plant, when you've pulled your fabric out, dig the hole, put this in with a few little holes in it, and plant into it, because then by the time that your plant is established, this will all compost out and deteriorate it down. So here's the thing. You're going to have to watch the letterbox now, because if you need to kind of squirrel away any orders that come in from us, you can't say, oh, that inert bag that just arrived, no, that was nothing important, nothing at all, because you need to watch out. And if you see one of these or one with a butterfly on it, you're going to want to grab that quick and squirrel it away into the sewing room. So it's the little things. It's just the little things that make our day. What else? Oh, these are now up on the new website. So a lot of you, Marie and a couple of others, were waiting for us to get more stock of cork and things in. So the little makeup bags that we had last month are all now restocked and they're all up on the new website. So please have a look at those. They come in a pack. You've got everything in here. You've got tassels and zips and your cork and your batting and your pattern and your fabric. So there's 3 of those up if you haven't seen them before, with some funky photos. This one's actually, you get a little badge of Under the Australian Sun if you want to put it on. So of course we had these on the old website, but to put them up on the new one, new stock, organised. What else did he put up? Oh, this stuff that I like using that Emma and I used on Tuesday, the double-sided tape. Okay, and I'm probably going to use that today. A lot of you also, I'm saying I'm a learner. I was asked about good quality quilting pins, safety pins. I had a look around, I trialled a lot, and I've ended up bringing in the Prim ones. They are really, really nice. And these are the ones I like. I don't have fancy schmancy ones. I don't have the ones with the bend in them. It doesn't really make any difference to me. I just like a really good quality sharp safety pin. So that's the one, that's what I've got, and I've popped them up on the website as well. And there are some gorgeous little magnetic, there we go. Now this is just a little pop-in, okay, so I have a big distributor I buy from in the States, and they have those lovely little, this is a little magnetic bar that you stick on once you've opened up your notepad. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to pop them on the website and get them in, so that when you're buying all your fabric and all those sorts of things, you go, oh, do I need a present for anyone? So each time you can just sort of add a little prezi to your stash. Oh, yes. I'm going to demonstrate next week these. I think I've done it before, but I am so going to do it again. These are the Baninas. This is for the Banana girls. Circular embroidery attachment. This is not about embroidery modules. This is what you use on any Banana. Do you want to see inside? You've got to see inside. It is the simplest of concepts, but oh so clever. It's like, what's in the box? That, oh, Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. This is a bar that you screw onto your platform, like the main body platform on your machine. So you've got little holes here to do that. Underneath this little piece of plastic is a very, very sharp spike. And then you've got little screws that you screw it onto your plate with. So what happens is you impale, you've got to be careful because it's super sharp, you impale your fabric onto the spike, put the stopper back on, and it holds your fabric. So as you're sewing, your fabric can't do anything but pivot around the spike. It has to, it's got nowhere else to go. And therefore, we can make the most perfect circles. So we're going to do that next week. I'm going to pop it on the 475, which is here, and I'm also going to pop it on the 570 that I have in a box for sale. So if you saw Facebook, Louise is the lucky winner, wasn't a winner, lucky recipient, buyer, purchaser of the overlocker I put up this morning. I also have a 570. Watch for that. If you want a 570, there aren't any around until later in the year, and I'm putting one up on sale. So if you're thinking, oh, it might be me, go and do your research on a Bernina 570 now, so that you can make that decision before I put it up with its price, because it's going to go. It has to go. I already have one. I don't need two here. All right, we done? We all done? Let's put all this away. And let's get some designing done. This in here. So, I hope you're all okay. I hope you're all looking after yourselves. I'm not going to do the lecture today. You know I love lecturing everyone on getting out of bed. And honestly, yesterday morning, I didn't get out of bed until 8 o'clock. Really bad for me. 8 o'clock. I just went, I need to just stop for a minute. Just a quick stop. But I found it terribly boring. And if you noticed how early the sun's coming up now, for those of us that live down south, it's up. Like, it's up to not needing a torch to walk by 6:30, which is very, very exciting. So I lasted till 8, and then it's too much to do. Way, way too much to do. Oh, I've ordered these amazing scissors. I have ordered them. They are coming. If you haven't seen them, do you want to see them? Vivian said, do you really? I said, you just send me the scissors. Look at them. Look at that. So I have ordered them. I loosened this pair up because these have got proper screws in them. They're not riveted, so you can actually set them to the pressure or the resistance that you want. And I oiled mine, which was a bit of a novelty. Back to the old days, like my grandmother's scissors. Okay, let's do this. What's this in here? Oh, applique, girls. Yep. Tomorrow morning, I'm doing the demo for you for a Quilters Life, members, on ruching, ready for the blocks that you've just got. Okay. So now that we've got all this set up here, I'll get all of yours done. Right, let's look at this. And that would not be the right camera. Sorry, that one. There you go. Can you hear that noise downstairs? A vroom, 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 vroom. If you can, that is young Stephen's car. Oh my goodness. But he has decided that because we are doing our show virtually, he's just moving some of our long span shelving and things from the storage unit back into the warehouse and a few other bits. So there you go. All right, what are we going to do? I think I would like a narrow one, and I'm probably getting a lot of my inspiration by plagiarizing my own stuff, really, aren't I? By those vases and the pots and things that I popped onto the Summer Palace border print. There is still some of that on the website. I think we've only got it in the blue and grey and the red and cream now. But that's all right. There's always something new coming up. Always, always. So if we were to do that, if I wanted to do a narrower one, this is the fabric that I'm using for the other one. So if I was to do a narrower one, I would probably put it to one side. I wouldn't put it in the middle. It would look really weird if it was here. So I'm actually thinking, it would go down this side here. I'm all around the wrong way, aren't I? Oh no, that's right. Stings. We rigged the camera up upside down on the top one, so I have to reverse everything. Okay, and then this is the colour that I'm going to use for the top. So I've got this blue shadow play. That's a really lovely colour. We have so got to get that overhead light on. So that's going to go there, and then I'll use it on the base as well down here. Now if I'm going to set this all over to one side, we need to think about what's going to come over onto this side. So if we do that, I'm thinking that we'll bring through maybe a twig or a branch of some cherry blossoms, but also we've got all of these paper pieced octagons that will be in the pattern as well. So maybe we can just have a larger section of these over here as well. So there's a few things that we can do. Of course, the other thing that we could do, do you remember when we did the Oriental Caddy, yeah, I keep sitting and finishing off the second one for you. We could turn those octagons into butterflies. So there's lots and lots of different things that we can do. But I think if we get the vase or the vase designed first, that will then speak to me about what I should do on the other side. So I'm going to, I'll cut this back over to an overhead shot, and just bear with me. I'm going to bring in, I'll get this one out of the way. Now, I actually have to have this done, and all of Natasha's kits and everything done by about Monday, and that is not much time. But it's okay, because this technique of bagging out is really, really fast and easy to do. And as I said, applique girls will get that. We had all of the packs of the girls starting this month ready to go, and then we got held up waiting for the threads to arrive, you know, because in the first pack you get all of your embroidery threads, and they've got here today, so we can finally get them out. Alright, so this is really quick and easy to do. But what I am suggesting for this second one is we're going to do a narrower one. If you look at this, I actually want it to pretty much take up all of this whole 10-inch piece that I've got, and probably about that big. And I don't need to worry about this space that the corner lattice work is taking up, because I'm going to keep all of my lattice work and run it down one side. So it might come round here a little bit and up. I think that'll work really well. Actually, it will, won't it? We could actually have a second layer comes through, so 1, 2, 3, 4 on the diagonal across here, and then we can run them in single up this way, and then maybe have a little sprig of cherry blossom down here. I don't find that too daunting, and I hope you don't, because if you've got any of my patterns, you already know, or the club sampler, you already know how to do cherry blossoms, how to do Suffolk puffs, all of that. So let's move this aside. Now, how are we going to draw this up? Well, I think we actually do it with plates. You know I love my plates. I'm going to sit that there so you can have a look at what we're going to do. And I think I sort of want this to taper and come up and round off up here. Hang on 2 ticks. Hey Lise, can you bring me up a ruler? just bring me up a ruler. Ta, thank you. So let's have a look. So we sort of want something that's going to round off our edges. You can see, look, I've still got the marks on here from when we were using it last time. So if we kind of just mind all the cords and stuff, please, because they're, thanks, Ta. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to draw a line here first, just so that I get that lovely soft curve feel here, like that. I really, you know what, I can do patterns for you and I can put them up for you to buy all day long. And that is, of course, my bread and butter, and that's the way business works. We do that, but I do love the idea that you know how to do it yourself as well. And I really love it when you have a go. So if we just really want sort of those little bits on the side. I just want that bit there. So if I bring my ruler through, I'm going to turn that iron off and draw that line across. That is going to give me, can you see that? So we're not going to use this bit. That's going to give us the top of our vase or our pot or our urn, whatever you want to call it, like that. Then I will find the middle of this with the ruler. Obviously I can do it quite easily because I'm sitting on graph paper. So 2 3/4, that's my middle there. So let's draw a line down and then we'll work out how tall we want it to be. The finished size of my cushions is 16.5 inches. So I can't use my cup, because I put stuff in it. Okay, so you can see that that's sort of going to form the top of this pot. And if I just fold this in a bit, you'll be able to see where I'm going. Right, let's do the base. Now, obviously, I want this to be narrower. I only want my base to be, well, if we're 5.5 at the top, if we aim for about 3.5 at the bottom, maybe. So that would be 1 3/4. I love using this graph paper. This is one thing I really need to get up on the website for you, because as I said, now it's based on weight, not volume. I love working with this stuff. I've got to get it done. Okay, so again, I want to use the saucer to give me a little curve. So this is much smaller saucer, main plate. I do have a side plate here too. We'll see if we need it. So again, this is just going to give me a little bit of a curve to use. So if I draw that across there. We're not going to use any of this. I'm going to use this little curve that's come here. You can see I'm bringing it in a little bit, but it gives me a good start. Then all we need to do is grab a ruler and join those up. It really won't matter if you're a little bit off, because when I cut this out, what I will do is I'll actually fold it in half. That line is just a tick. Let me just go. Oh, that's so much better. We're learning. I'm going to fold it in half and make sure that I've got a mirror image of it. So we'll chop this out. Just shoot down there. I've always wanted, always wanted to do a quilt with just lots and lots of different blocks, using up all my stash of oriental fabrics, whether they be silks, from kimonos or anything like that. You see, I folded it in half on the line, so as I cut it out, I know I'm going to get a mirror image. I haven't chosen one side over the other, I've just chosen one. And then we can have a look. There we go. So there is our pot. So you can see, it just gives you a little bit of a curve. Now, if you, the different way to approach this is just do everything in straight lines. And then if you've got a little template or a stencil that's got little circles, you can use that to come and round them off. This is just the method I love using, but you can do anything that you want to. Whatever works for you. Okay, so I pop that there. What I want to do is, put the phone up here. Sorry, I'm just checking. Oh, Donna, he liked the butterflies on the template. Okay, Melissa and Lisa, I have no words for you two, but can I? Yes, I do. I have two words. Work ethic. Work ethic. Oh, you're so funny. I'm glad you're at work, Lisa, because it means I know that you are better and you are back at work. There you go. All right. You're funny, you two. All right. So now we need a lid. Whoa, and this is a tough one, because it probably needs to be. Let me just drain this cup out. Hang on. It probably needs to be quite small, I think, almost like a dome. While you can't see what I'm doing, I'm looking for something to wipe out. Hang on, there's a bit of batting here. There we go. It's clean. It's clean. I think it almost needs to be a real quite pointy lid. And it can't come back in again, so it really needs to be a full half circle. You're all naughty. Pauline, I'm glad you like the idea of the cherry blossom branch. I think that's what we might do. How's that? Nearly. Maybe about, oh, maybe it is a bit taller. Right, so that's one option. I'm not convinced, actually. Oh, I know why. Let's just try it with this one. Maybe it needs to be this one. Just draw it over further. And I hope you're all doing this at the same time. Let's move this over. Just draw a section like that. And then bring it down with this. So it's wider. Yeah. There. That's it. Okay. That's my middle. I hope you're all doing this at the same time. But how easy is it? I don't know, which one do you like? I don't know. I'm going to go with this one for now. Because I think... I actually think the one that is on my fabric... Oh, maybe it needs to do the... There it is. I knew there wasn't something right. That's what it needs to do. It needs to go out, and then we can put a big circle on the top. There we go. Right, let's chop this one, and then we're going to make it. Just heard from... Wow, Oh, Marilyn, that is fantastic. Sorry, Jane, it's fantastic. The quilt is on the frame. So, those that didn't hear, Jane has Drop Dead Gorgeous Australian Orchid Quilt for our spring exhibition. Super duper. Okay. Oh, I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? We'll just chop this way. There we go. So we'll chop in half. Well, Miss Jane, you can put an orchid on your pot. This is the whole thing. It doesn't have to be made with fabric either. So if you think about those gorgeous new Oriental fabrics that I showed you on Tuesday with Emma. I'm just going to trim this down a bit, ladies. Why not have that as the background and then do a plain pot in a black linen or an open weave and sashiko a design onto the pot. That would be, wow, that would be completely different. That is something we need to think about. What do we think? Is that okay? We can always set it up a little bit if that's going to be my seam allowance. Now I can make all of this lid up, and then I can just have a little bit of a play. But I think that's it. So now we need to think about what we're going to do on our pot. So if you have a look at this one back over here, this has pre-piecing on it. There we go. There we are. So with the pre-piecing, there we go. Right, with the pre-piecing, this was a straight piece that I added to the base of my 10-inch square. Now, so do we want to do this again? We probably do. So if I take this piece here, we're going to add a strip of this along the bottom. If you're in the club, what I want you to remember is that you'll actually be doing yours in a curve and needle turning it onto the base of your piece for your biscuit barrel that's coming up for you next time. So we're going to pre-piece this on, and then we just need to have a think about how much we're going to put on. So if I hold my fabric, and I do want a little bit left over to use, so I want to be able to have a little bit of room. If I sit this here, because I've already cut these for the kits, and that's half the fun, working around what you've done, I need another 1.5 inches down here so that there is enough to cover all of the template. So if you are going to do your pre-piecing, just make sure that collectively, when you put all your pieces together, that you've allowed enough for the length of your urn or your pot or your vase that you're actually doing. So if you think about what I'm going to do here, just also realize that you don't need to use an actual whole print. You might have a whole heap of leftover strips. Sew them all together. Put them in on angles, on curves, anything like that. Press their seams open so that it's going to be really easy for you to piece and bag out your urn. And then use up all your leftovers. And you've got really, really funky, different looking vases going on. Don't get me started though, ombre every time. And if you have a look at my Summer Palace border stripes, I've got a couple of my vases are actually ombre, they change in colour. That was a nightmare, and something the factory said, we have not done this before. But it's a challenge, they love a challenge. So ours is going to be really different this time. It's going to be blue, and it's going to sit on one side. And we're going to run these up here. Natasha's going to kill me. I'm going to have to put for you and for her the instructions for both shapes in the one pattern, because that would just be cruel to do that. All right, so now that we've got that little bit of the designing done, I want you to think about other shapes too. Butterflies, anything that you've got, you can do this with. So sometimes a little bit of thought needs to go into it first, but that's half the fun. That is half the fun. It's so satisfying when you do your own. Got your own thing happening. Okay, let's cut this. This table that we're on today is much lower than what we usually work on, and this is the table for my Q20. So the Q is at home at the moment on a foldable table because I'm using it. Yeah, I don't need that much, do I? I wonder. Oh, look, I can get away with just having that much and sewing it on. I'm going to do that. That's a lot more frugal. Yes, so my Q I have taken home. I've just got a new one in. It's home on a foldable because I need to have a chat with Anne and I need to have a chat with Libby about their new machines. So it's at home. Oh, please tell me there's a rotary cutter up here. There's no rotary cutter up here. Right. We'll make do, yeah? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Luckily it wasn't a long stretch. So we need to sew this onto this base, and I just need to position it so that it's sitting in a spot that we're going to be able to pick it up. If I went all the way to the edge, this is going to come over. So it needs to come back and sit about there. So I'll just flip this. Yes, Donna, we are using the term bag out again. Bag out means sew two bits together and then turn them inside out. That's all it means. It doesn't necessarily have to refer to a bag. You would bag out a two-sided tablecloth, for example. Oh, hello, Myra. How are you? I know a lot of you are waiting for super demos and everything, and look, now that I have got this area set up, it's going to be a lot easier for a while. We're going to be here through all of September for when we're hosting Love and Hugs Facebook page. We're going to be here for all of the second half of September with the Australian Textile Exhibition, so there's going to be lots. Yeah. Oh yes, good. Sorry, good morning, Donna, not good afternoon. There you go. Hello, Estelle. Hello, Valerie. When we host Love and Hugs, they're going to be evening sessions. We'll still have our afternoon together, but there'll be evenings so that we can watch after. You can watch after dinner, but also it's a time when our fellow quilters in the Northern Hemisphere are going to be awake. Okay, we're good with that? Let's quickly do the lid while we're here. Now, this is bagging out, Miss Donna. So I need to be able to get this shape, ship shape to go. How are we going to bag it out? Well, we're not going to bag it out with another fabric. We're actually going to sew it right sides together with some Vilene or something light, a muslin, something really thin, you know, a cheap and cheerful cotton, something that's going to be really easy to turn through and hide. So if that's going to go on there, do you want to bag out your lids? And if you do, which I have done with this one, this has all got padding underneath. It's got lightweight pellin in it. So that means that it's going to set up really well, almost 3D, when I'm finished. Because I'll come back and quilt this, and then the ginger pot is really going to pop. And I did laugh because Cass misheard me, and so today's show was called Ginger Pops instead of Ginger Pots. But it's quite appropriate because they are going to pop. Just cut this out like that. Okay. Patricia, did I say hi? If I didn't, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is just addictive to me. You know that, right? It's just addictive. So we're going to iron this on to here. Now, I purposely don't want, I'm going to take a little bit off. I don't want any batting in my 1/4 inch seam. I do think I'm going to shorten this off a bit. So I'm not going to have that batting in my 1/4 inch seam where it's going to sit underneath the vase or the urn. So I'm going to pop that on there with an iron, and then I'm going to sew it right sides together with a piece of Vilene. So this is just non-adhesive Vilene, stiffener, interfacing, anything that you want to call it that works for you, that's traditionally used in dressmaking. You don't want adhesive. I will get Steve to pop this up on the side. It might not happen for a couple of days, but we will do that for you. Oh, and if you're doing the club, that it will be included in your bag out. It will be included in your instructions for your biscuit barrel. So that's sort of how that's all going to work. This is going to get ironed on, and then we're going to sew around here with this on the back, and then we're going to turn it right side through. Same goes for this. We're going to sew along here. So this becomes, if you like, we're going to treat it like one piece. Then we're going to cut out our vase or our vase from this. Now this is our palette that I just used here, but this is adhesive because I do want it to stick. Just so you can see it, I might just draw. And here. So I think it's probably a really good idea that we talk about batting next week for lots of different things. We stock a lot of Palin in codes called 640 and 630. 640 is a little bit thicker, and it just depends on what you're using it for. This is 630 because I don't want it too thick. 640 is great for layering up for outside or additional pockets on a bag when you're using rubber foam batting. And a lot of people ask me if I use adhesive or non-adhesive for bag batting. I'm a big fan of adhesive when I'm making a big tote like that one I showed you before and I need it done in 5 minutes and I don't have the time or I don't want to quilt it. But the downside to adhesive is if the bag gets wrinkly, it can keep its wrinkled look. And you know, I find I'm constantly, because I don't use my bags a lot, they sit here as samples, I'm constantly having to iron the wrinkles out. So it's up to you. If I was making a personal bag, I would use non-adhesive, which we will be selling on the site, and then yeah, it's just really nice to work with and quilt it, and it's fantastic. Okay, so that's going to go on the back of this when we've got those together, and again then we're going to bag it out with the Vilene. Right, so let's get up to sewing. I expect after doing 1 or 2 live shows a day for all of September, I do expect myself to be looking a little bit more polished and organised. We shall see. We shall see. So that's our background, so we don't need that for now. We'll pop that up there. We will pop the iron back on. Right. Oh, Dorothy McCorkle, if you are watching, I haven't seen, but if you, I bet you that's Cass that's just said that. If you are watching, no, you do not have your purses and your lanyard yet, and the reason is I could not find what I had promised you. which was the last little piece of the green leaf ombre. So I found it, so I will get yours out for you. Just wanted to wait because I had promised. So we sold out, and I had greedily kept some for myself, because as a good example to show my fabric agent, and to explain what I wanted to the guys in Japan for my little Japanese garden range that I'm doing. And I had been quite greedy, and Dorothy had really wanted it, and so Jude, her daughter, said please please, and I didn't need it all, so I did. I could spare a bit. I just needed one bit of it to show. Sometimes it's really hard to convey, to convey and explain what I'm after. What I'm actually after is quite different, but the technique they'll use to create the ombre effect is kind of similar. Now, you need to see, I'm really glad Steve changed those lights for me. There we go. So what are you all doing with your, I don't know what you're doing with your weekend. I've got to think about it. I will be here tomorrow. That's a given. For some of the day anyway. And then the weekend, I think it's going to be garden. It's going to be sewing and garden. A little bit of housework. Let's not overdo it. Just a little bit of housework. But yeah, that sun is out and things are shooting. So we need to do a stock take of a little bit of a stock take of the garden. I'm sure Dad's going to tell me I should have seeded potatoes going in now. So that's the go. I threatened Robert if I couldn't go overseas next year as well, I was going to get chooks. Oh my goodness. The look on his face. Ginny got all excited. She thought that was a great idea. I don't think my cat realizes how scary an angry hen can be. She'll learn. She'll only find out once. But I've got the perfect spot. Okay, so that's sewn on, and then that's going to get pressed out to pop our violin onto. But let's just grab the iron, and we will quickly iron these. Up. So just be careful, remember when you're ironing on your adhesive violin, either pop a Teflon mat over the top or carefully turn it over onto the fabric side so that you would hear that little bit of batting down. There you go, that's on. And then while we're here, I'll just iron this out. Push that out. I've only got my teeny weeny ironing board up, but this will work. So that's going to sit there. So it's going to take in a fair bit of that blue at the bottom. So if I flip that and iron. So you can see this is just straight. I'm doing it really easy with the straight piece. But of course, you could curve, you could put binding, you could put braid, you could put anything on before you actually add the shape of your vase. There we go. So now we need to add, as well as this little piece that we're going to use to bag out our lid, we also need a larger piece. Who said, so I can sometimes, there's something weird going on with Floria's internet today. I'm getting 50,000 messages to say Flurry is watching, which is fine. Oh, hello. Who's who? Morella, where are you? Because that's a very, very exotic surname. I need to know. Donna says, I'm going to be making a long cushion with the winter theme for my couch. That sounds gorgeous. That sounds really, really nice. I might have to join you with that, though maybe we need a spring one. We can do a bit of a switch, Donna. I'll do the spring one now. You do the autumn one, and then we can switch around. Turn that way. Obviously, I don't need a piece quite this big, but that's what's sitting here. So we're now going to sew right around that whole piece. I'll just pop some pins in, girls, because I feel that that has the potential to move a little bit. Hello, Marg. How are you? Are we all good? Cindy, you're here. I missed you before. If you came in, I am so sorry. I remember, Cindy, when you first went into lockdown, I had a bit of a giggle because it was almost like, oh, Cindy's joined the club. She's joined the lockdown club. Ugh. All right, turn this around. Oh, Janine, you're here too, and Glenda's here too. Oh, look, it's so nice you're all here. It really, really is. Makes it a nice afternoon for me too, you realise. Okay. So I want to get to the point just this afternoon of showing you how this works, and then all going to plan, you're going to see it pop up in a post and say, yay, it's finished. And the pattern and the kits are on the website. That's the dream, ladies. That is the dream, that we get it all done. Right, camera 2. Hi, Steve.
Hi. 107?
107 what? 173.
173. Thank you.
173.
Where's your handbag?
I've got a new one, and it's that little small taut one with all the zips. Did I leave it on the packing table?
Can't find it anywhere.
Oh.
No, that's alright. I'll,
It's here somewhere. Front door. Okay.
173?
Yes, darling. Okay. I can't believe he doesn't remember the number of our storage unit. Unbelievable. So this, I want to bring this down a little bit further. If I was a good girl, I would have drawn on the actual original shape of that lid, which I've put somewhere, but I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to wing it. So I'll bring out this stitch line a little bit further than where the batting is, so that I've got a little overlap to sit underneath the pot. Now back to the plants. Is it, Jane, not Aussie ones? Is it normal orchid time? Is it normal orchid time, not Aussie ones? If I could get into Garden World now, would it be the orchid season? I don't know. I don't know when orchids are out. But I've just had this hankering to get a big orchid in a pot for the outside area at home. Because while we're filming here at the moment, when we head home to film after in October, I want to go back. I've worked out how to do craft and book shows and things from home again. So yay, can't wait. And I want it to look all pretty for you when we do stuff. Donna, my mind keeps going back to my American roots and think we will be going into autumn next, not spring. Oh. Exactly, exactly. We're going into spring now. I never could understand that when I used to buy the, do you remember the beautiful stamp exchange stamps from American? Why have they got daffodils with Easter stuff? It took me a while. There you go. So now what we do is go around and cut it. Now I didn't bring my pinking shears in with me, but you can just cut this out with a scant 1/4 inch and come back and clip into that seam. I have got the worst pinking shears. I'm going on a hunt for a good pair. Mind you, they weren't cheap, and they're stiff as a board, and they're riveted again, so you can't change the resistance on them. So I'm going on a hunt. I might just ring Trevor the Scissor Man. He'll have some. There we go. So now I've got that little extra bit down the bottom. There's the violin on the back. So all we have to do is turn this through, and we're pre-shaped. So no needle turn, nothing, none nada. This everyone is a lot. I'm going to be doing lots and lots of pre-shaping like this when we start the geisha, which every day, I promise, every day we get closer to. I just hit and do a little bit of it whenever I can, but a lot of it I'm doing with pre-shaping this time. She's a lot of 3D stuff in her. I'll bring her back in and show her again next month, and that's when we'll start. And that will run through a quilter's life. It is going to be part of the $10 membership for that online club, and I don't have to put up the still of how to join today because it's on the front of the website. So it's up there, but we will run that through there. But lots and lots of pre-shaping to the point when we do the one-off kits at the start, there will be about 1 metre of this violin going in. That one, that one, that one. Now I haven't, have I? I don't know. I've got that pretty straight. For the purpose of the sample on the pattern and the one going off to Natasha, I might just restitch this because it's a little bit, I've gone a little bit off grid because I didn't have it actually drawn onto the fabric as well as just sticking down the cutout piece of Palin. So that's where I've gone a little bit astray, and that's just a good little tip for you to remember as well, please. Do as I say. Give it a little bit of a tug. Okay. 1 lid. So if we just stick that over the top, that's going to be good. Right, let's go back to the machine. And having said that, that means that my entire vase might end up a little bit wonky too, but let's give it a go. As you can see, it's such a quick technique, that I'm not going to be upset if I have to do it again quickly. So, Sharon, oh, have your orchids all flowered? Are they finished? That's annoying. I have an orchid in flower now, but I'm in cans. Sylvia, yes, you're in cans. It does make a big difference. Yours would have, I would think yours, oh, maybe not. I don't know. I shall Google that. Yeah, so springtime good for orchids. Lovely, lovely. That's great to know. I've just I've got this spot. So we're renting this old merchant builder's home. You know, the Bessabrick ones that were sort of like a Lego set. You could put together really easily and change the shape. And they were very well known. Oh, Diane, I'm very happy to hear that. They were very well known for adding little atriums. So it's got that, like the master and a study and the lounge dining are at one end. And then you walk through about 2 meters of a glass corridor, and it's glass on each side. And on each side of that is like a little set-in atrium area, conservatory area that's open to outside. But it's just one side is where I did a lot of filming of Craft and Cook last year, and the other side, when we got Ginny, we actually had it with mesh across it to keep her in, so she could jump out one of the bathroom windows and have a little enclosed area. But now it's all open up because she's just such a homebody now. Doesn't go anywhere. So I want to pop some orchids in, and we'll use it. We'll use it for filming, and we'll do some little stitcheries out there. And it's a really nice little spot, and the light's fantastic. I asked Rob if it was possible, and he said, you can go anywhere that the big blue cord reaches, which I've spoken to you about, the big blue cord being the Ethernet cord. And I thought, well, if it doesn't fit, I'll just get a longer cord. So I understand the issue. I do have a long one now, but we can go anywhere. In the house, that is. Okay. Sewn on, and I used a dark thread today so you can see the back, so you can see that's all the way around. So we'll cut this out again just with a 1/4 inch, really scant 1/4 inch, or with your pinking shears. I did think of another type of batting. What was the... Oh, I've got a slightly different one that was originally, funnily enough, sent to us in error, and now I just love it. It's the one that we're putting in these kits. I'll quickly show you. It's the ones in these kits for the purses. It's just a little bit denser. It's more like an adhesive felt. And I just think particularly for little kits like these, where we're sort of giving body with just a little bit of extra oomph to it, so that it is really nice and compatible and works really well with the cork, for example, it's great for that. It would also be really good to use for thin placemats. Where you sort of want that effect of this Pellin that I'm using here, but it's got just a little bit more body to it because it's slightly denser, and it's, for want of a better word, it's got more glue on it. So it's really quite a heavy dotty glue. But I tell you what, it doesn't look wrinkly. It's very, very clever. All right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Now what? We've got to get in. So now what we have to do is really, really carefully do that. So we're going to separate out our fabric with the batting on the back, and we're going to grab this bit. Put a little chop. Actually, it's one little tip. One little tip. When you look at your violin, I don't know if you can see that on there, the grain is all running that way, so it's going to tear that way really easily. If I'd looked at that first, I would have cut that way. I'll do another slit. And then it won't rip. It doesn't matter if it rips a bit, but just so you know. That's the other thing I've got to get hold of. Quick Smart. I know where to get them from, is some duckbill scissors, because we're going to be doing a fair bit of work coming up with this sort of stuff, and it's really nice, and reverse applique, it's really nice to have the duckbill ones. So if you don't know what they are, if you looked at a pair of scissors like this, one blade is really pointy, oops, sorry, wrong way. One blade's really pointy, and the other one comes down in a curve like a duckbill, so that when you slide it in underneath one layer of fabric, you really significantly reduce the risk of clipping the good side of your fabric. I've got my authoritative voice on now, haven't I? Put my tutor voice on. It's just no need for that today, Lisa. There you go. There it is. Let's give it an iron. I'm really glad about that. That I've got to have you think about paper piecing again. Absolutely, Diane, because I'm almost a non-hexy girl. I love doing everything in paper piecing besides hexagons. And there's lots more shapes. Steve has put up those cool 5-sided ones onto the new website. I think they've got their own heading. They're either under EPP or other essential hobby, and I did the little samples up and put them next to them because you know how hard it is to see the clear EPP stencils, so he's popped those up. Petra, I am not surprised you have a beautiful pot with a geisha on it. I believe it. I believe it. I must admit, I do have a little bit of a collection of blue and white ginger stuff and oriental stuff. Jenny Daniels, I'll be down. Oh, 5K rule. 5K rule. I can't come and steal your orchids. What a shame. What a shame. I can't come and get them. The other thing that I'm doing for Natasha, so if you're in the UK, this is a very important thing to note. The other thing I'm doing for Natasha is some origami pin cushion kit. So if you do like the idea of trying out my origami block just with one cute pin cushion, they are coming up and I will have them available here as well. I've steamed my bench. Well, it probably needed a clean. Oh, Jeanette, that's gorgeous. My grandfather had an amazing orchid collection. Yeah, you can see I'm not perfect here again, guys, because I was going by the shape of the pelon, so I will redo this. But I won't waste this one. And the best thing we found to do with them was ignore them, your traditional ones. Emma used to have them. I might have to hassle the M. Okay, there you go. How easy is that? So you just slit the back, turn it all the way through. So this will look better if I draw it on and I follow the line that I'm drawing, not the edge of the pelon, because you know pelon moves a lot when you're sewing it on. So I would do that. I would also, I just use my straight foot as well. Use a clear one or an open toe embroidery one, something that you can see that line really well and compresses down the batting as you go. If you're a Bonina girl, a number 23 is a good idea if you've got one. So I will redo that. But now that you can see this on the back of my chair, here we go. So let's go back to what our whole plan was here. This vase is looking great, well positioned for, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Linda, we will use them extensively. If you've got duckbill scissors, we're going to use them. Yeah, Myra, now the demo on Natasha's, sorry, I've got sidetracked now, completely sidetracked. Let's do this first. I'll lay this out. Natasha's already demonstrated origami. Miss Jane did it Wednesday last week, so if you want to hop on and do that, I will do it again here for you as well. Might do it with M next week. Lost so much to do, everyone. We've got so much to do. So this is going to go on one side, yeah? We're going to do this really, really different to the other one, which is this one. So that's on that side. We're going to just move all this across a bit. Just move, move, move. There we go. So you've got both of them sitting here. So let's set this one onto one side, and these blocks finished are 16. So we've got to allow 16 across here. So we're looking at a huge piece, but really I'm going to bring this one in just a little bit. So with these, how about we might put just one or two up here, just to set off that side of the block. And then instead of just having this amount down in this corner, we'll go bigger. We'll do, say, as I said, another row. So that'll take up that area there, and then we'll put a couple up here, or we'll run just some single ones up so it comes around the side. And then taking inspiration from the fabric, we'll do a little sprig of cherry blossoms, and we might just stick one here on the lid, just to give a little bit more contrast, because I chose to use a plain fabric here. So I think we might do that. Someone said hello. Who's running late? Who is running late? Someone's missing last week. Yeah, well, you can go back and watch catch up anytime, Myra, on Natasha's or on mine. There's on my YouTube, on the Lisa Chandler channel, there's a whole section on pre-shaping curves, and in that we do Suffolk puffs and cherry blossoms and things too. Origami, I think there is an origami demo. I don't know. There's definitely a lotus flower. So do you get what I'm talking about here? I hope you'd get it. If I just fold this down. So we'll do this down this side, and we'll do the sprig across. And if the sprig doesn't work, I will do these as butterflies, because we do know that these work. So if we do two large and two smaller octagons, and we can have them as little butterflies down the side with the lattice. And you can see on this one, I have literally just done a little circle over a template for the top there. So we'll do the same here, or we might be able to use the blossom here for the blossom as a 4-petal here would be really nice for the top of that one. So lots and lots of options, and I want you all to have a go. I want you all to please have a go. Pull out any jugs, vases, or anything that you've got in the cupboard and use it for inspiration, and have a look at it. Literally put the ruler up against it, see how high it is, how high you want it to be. Pull the plates out. You can pull plates out and set them next to your vases and your pots, and look for similar shaped or sized curves. So you'll go from, you want to do a really small one, you're going to go sherry glass, champagne glass for the top, or just the bottom curves. So for these curves down here, you could be pulling these off a glass or something. For bigger curves like this, you're going to head to bigger circles. So something you might have in the house might be a big finger food platter or something like that, so you get a larger curve that you're working with. Don't hesitate to go out to the shed and have a look and see what's out there too. If there is a wheel rim or a hubcap or anything like that that's got a really nice circular curve on it, anything is fair game to use. So please do have a go, and have a go at designing some of your own. I'm going to get these finished and get those pin cushions done and get all the kits packed off, and then Steve will load some for us up onto our website, and the rest will go off to Natasha in the UK. So that is pretty much it for me for today. So if you've got any questions, please let me know. Oh wait, who's got what? Oh, so Rosemary, yours are budding in the ACT now, but you reckon they won't flower until November? Is that because it's so freezing cold up there? I've seen how cold it is. Really, really cold. Thank you, Kerry. All right, so I'm going to head off and get these done. Finish setting all of this up. What we're doing is setting up 2 areas. I'm pointing. You can't see a thing. We're setting up 2 areas here. And I won. Remember how I said I'd convinced Rob I need another camera? I won. One more. So we're doing one more wide lens camera, because our virtual exhibition with Eileen Campbell's works will be here, as well as Love and Hugs. And I want to be able to stand here, kind of like the weather girl, and have, oh, we didn't talk about Flex Quilt, and show you different areas of a quilt, and then do close-ups with a close-up camera for you, so that you can see all the detail in the quilt. So we're going to have 2 areas set up here so you can see 2 beautiful big quilts or 4 small ones at the same time. Felicity Bonner, chandelier block, adaptation, her own design, under the Australian sun with the butterflies. Beautiful. So if Flick's watching, she will be talking, I know, later about cutting out, getting the butterflies and putting Vilene back to back with those, and then bagging those out and turning them through. So she's got 3D ones. I know what she's doing. So anyway, so this quilt, Emma and I drafted up the pattern, it just didn't happen. So we will get this done so you've got it. And she's got 3 or 4 others here too that I'm going to show you through September that are gorgeous. All right, this is the last time. Wait, Pete, you're late to the party. Peter's here, so I will no longer say ladies, I will say ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much for joining me this afternoon. We will be back with the normal show, and Em will be here again on Tuesday. So much for her being a guest. She's now a regular feature on a Tuesday because she's here, and we've got the studio at the warehouse. And I might pop in over the weekend and just have a chat on the main Chandler's Cottage Facebook page about the applique sampler, because we've had to wait a long time to assemble everything for our lovely ladies that have been waiting to start since the end of, starting in July. So they're finally going out tomorrow, but we will be taking intakes right up until I think the 31st of August, which is when we'll send the second pack out, somewhere in there. But I might come back on the weekend and have a chat about that. And Steve's got to get that up on the new website too. But aside from that, I will see you Tuesday next week, and please make sure you're on the mailing list. You can always sign up through the new site now if you like, to make sure that you're in, and we'll get a newsletter out this weekend. I think that's all of it. If I've forgotten anything, you'll let me know, yeah? All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and I shall see you next Tuesday. All right. Bye. Bye.